Troglodyte warning. Today I want to talk about Joe Rogan and a bit about his political journey. He was left wing not that long ago, 6 years ago, and I want to prove this with a clip from 6 years ago where he talks about immigration and other things, and it really shows you he was quite hardcore leftist. Some of the most leftist talking points that you'll probably ever hear. And what happened to him? Well, we'll talk about that after the clip, so let's get straight into it.
It's like I see a lot of people online talking about this immigrant issue, and they either don't have kids or they don't think it could happen to their kids. Their idea is, hey, shouldn't have fucking come over here. You get those kind of people. Broke the law. Shouldn't have fucking come over here if your kid, you didn't want to get your kid separated. If you were in the presence of a woman who came over here from Guatemala and she's poor and she's starving and they're taking her baby away and she's wailing and screaming from a primal place in her DNA that the one thing she loves more than anything is being taken away. A baby.
Yeah.
If that doesn't freak you the fuck out, you're not a part of the team, man. You're missing it. You're missing it. What are we here for?
True. I agree with him. But what changed? He's just advocated for Donald Trump, sided with Donald Trump, who ran on mass deportation, 20 million people. What happened, Joe? Well, we all know he's kind of been bought. And what I mean by that, I don't mean literally he's been given a suitcase of money, but he's fallen in line with the corporate interests. Because again, he was independent media. He's been bought a $250 million Spotify deal earlier in the year, February. He's been bought. And again, people act like Joe Rogan. He's never been right. He's never left wing. He's always been right wing. No, let's continue what else he says in the video.
We're here for 100 years of whatever. That's what we're here for. If you want to spend 100 years saying, hey, she shouldn't have fucking broke the law, I don't want you on the team. You're an asshole, right? And I don't give a fuck if you're right or left. I don't care if you're religious, or I don't care if you're an atheist. If that's what you support, you're an asshole. And we don't want you on.
True, and now he does. He glazed Donald Trump for 3 hours, failed to push back on any of his lies, his misinformation. Why didn't he say this? Why can't we have empathy with these people that are coming over? Again, he's been bought by the big boys. He won't admit it, but he's fallen in line with the corporate interests because they all have Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, Cenk from the Young Turks, and a Consparian. They're all falling in line with the corporate interest because there's a lot of money in this to have these talking points. Well, not these ones, the ones he talks about now, because all his guests are right wing. They're all, and Eric Andreessen, a hedge fund manager, corporate shill of the worst kind. Look at the people he has now, all right wingers. Very rarely has a left wing person. But back in the day, when he supported Bernie in 2020, lost loads of left wingers. So let's continue with the video.
On our team, okay? But if you agree with certain economic policies that I don't agree with, and we could have a discussion about it, we could figure out why you agree, and we could figure out why people are allowing all of this money to get into politics. Why are we allowing all these special interest groups and lobbyists to interfere with our laws and influence?
So ironic when Trump is going to, he didn't drain the swamp. He said he's going to drain the swamp in his first term. He hired Wall Street bankers, some of the most corporate billionaires, and he's done the same thing again. And what's the best indicator of someone's future behavior? Well, it's their past behavior. So Donald Trump is going to do the same thing, and he's done it again. So what the hell is going on? And people say, and I think it's true, Joe Rogan's brain was broken by COVID because, again, Donald Trump, he led the lockdowns, he led the corona vaccine, but somehow now he's still his friend, even though he's against lockdown and against the vaccines. So again, most people are politically incoherent, but Joe Rogan, again, he's just doing it for the money. He's a grifter. And again, this independent media, they've all been bought. They're not independent media. It's fake independent media. Oh, shit.
immigrant issue about it. We can figure out why you agree, and we can figure out why people are allowing all of this money to get into politics. Why are we allowing all these special interest groups and lobbyists to interfere with our laws and influence our politicians and create all this shit that we don't want? Well, here's the number one reason. You can't just vote online. You can't just vote. It's not one person, one vote.
Right.
It's the Electoral College, and there's a lot of checks and balances that are in place. That's all wonderful and groovy, but it's not giving the trust to the people.
Right.
The trust to the people that they're informed, that they can make their own decisions, that more people should be able to make these decisions. But they're happening now. That 28-year-old girl who won in New York,
dude.
28-year-old
That's it.
Democratic socialist. Whether I agree with her or not, I don't know if I do or don't. I bet I agree with her on a lot of things. I think education should be free. I think we should figure out a way if we could.
Wow, education should be free. Would he be saying that now? What do you think?
Pay for bombs, we could pay for schools. I think this idea that everybody should
Unequivocally a leftist. Again, they want to cut spending. They don't want to cut the Pentagon, do they? Elon Musk and his Doge, they're going to cut everything. Social security, education. But again, what did Donald Trump do? He increased military spending. And again, on the immigration thing, and it's ironic in the UK here too, some of the highest immigration was under the Tories. Some of the highest deportations have been under Labour. And the same with Barack Obama. Barack Obama deported more illegal immigrants than Donald Trump. The same with Joe Biden. So he acts like he's the anti-immigration, but often it doesn't align with what he actually does. So let's continue the last bit of the video.
should have health care. It's a great idea. Who the fuck wants people to not be healthy? Who wants people to be hurt and not be able to fix it? Who wants? Are you really saying that struggling people should have to pay?
Would he be an advocate for Medicare for all now? No, of course he wouldn't. Because, again, he's been bought by the corporate interests.
Pay exorbitant amounts of money to get fixed when we could maybe chip in and help members of our team? That's stupid. Fill it up. Figure it out yourself. I had to. You got lucky, bitch. You got lucky you don't have leukemia. You didn't break both your legs when you were 18. Your parents are dead.
Right.
Wow. I mean, would he even talk about the idea of luck? He'd just be like, no, fuck you. You know, you've made bad decisions. This is incredibly leftist rhetoric here. Look, people get unlucky. We need to provide a social safety net, Medicare for all. This is a basic necessity. Education for all, so people can be educated and make informed decisions when they vote. Again, what happened, Joe? Well, we know, don't we?
Lucky piece of shit. These are people on our team.
Right.
I'm not talking about people who are lazy, good for nothing, losers, mooching off the system. You're going to have that too. Well, we got to figure out how to educate people so that happens less and less. That's what we got to figure out how to do. It's like,
So, there you go. He was left-wing, and this was only six years ago. Since COVID 2020, he's gone further to the right, and now he's at the point where he backed Donald Trump, a man who said he wants to deport 20 million illegal immigrants. He's making a lot of money, a big $250 million deal with Spotify, and this is what happens to them all. They're all captured by big finance, the capitalist class, and they act like, oh, it's the left. No, it's the money. It's always about the money. They get captured by the money. That's what they say, a post hoc justification, but it's all about the money. So there you go. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.